It's a journey, y'all. It's called The Journey Within. That's what my friend said to me. She said,
Genius.
there's no greater journey than the journey within.
Oh wow. Yo, you know what? Whenever these videos just start, I know spirits like, hey, let's go, bruh. Let's just like get it popping. Let's get it cracking. Okay, cool. Let's get it going. Let's get it going. You know what? Thank you so much for everyone who's like been joining me from this video, from the first one all the way to this one, right? But if you find yourself in this space right now, just for this one, it's always love. Thank you for being here. You know what? I'm just gonna jump straight into it. This set of cards that I've pre-pulled here, you know, it's the fourth set of cards that, you know, I've been continuing this ongoing story about how we are ultimately overcoming a group of energies, whether it be one person, a group of people, or even like multiple energies just coming at the collective at the same time. That you know, in the previous video, in the previous video I said they were working together, but again, it could be working together as in it's a group or just multiple energies at the same time. So with them all coming at the same time, it can come across as like, oh, what's going on? Like, are all these energies against me? Hence why the term of working together, right? But anyways, with this last group of cards, I asked guides, angels, ancestors, spirits, you know what it is, you know, the higher ups. I asked them, like, okay, with all the information that we've revealed, you know, why the attacks were happening, how the attacks were happening, and also what they were actually attacking. Now it's a matter of saying, like, okay, what is it that, you know, we should be doing? What is it that we should actually be focusing on? And I have cards from each of the decks that we've been using in the past few readings. One card from the Faces of Oshun deck, 2 tarot cards from the Rider-Waite, and 2 tarot cards from the Third Eye Oracle deck, right? So yeah, let's just jump straight into it. I'm already being called to the number 29 on this card. But what we have here is Oshun the Scandalous, number 29. And at the bottom of this, it says brazen, audacious, and fearless. Wow. You know, the first thing that I thought of when I looked at her hair was like, wow, she's visible. She is so seen. And I mean, just even look at her clothes, what she's wearing. It's like it's giving very much a celebratory type of vibe. But yes, this is like being seen. This is being visible and not being scared about it. Like, yo, you did all this inner work and now it's got to reflect externally, you know, with the healing, with the growth, with the expansion. This is being like him. This is being her. Like, you know what's that Drake lyric when it says it's so beautiful when you are who you think you are, or something like that. But this is like knowing you the doo-doo and showing it without any remorse, without any fear, you know. It's like like believing in something so much so that like you know you fully embody it, you fully embrace it. I just saw 323. You know, this hair, it's so visible. I mean, you might not even see her face from a distance, but you'll definitely see this hair. It's like, it's so big, it looks like it's the sun. And, you know, I'm just getting even Mama Africa type of thoughts right now. And it's like, yo, this woman who is big, voluptuous, like all up in the space, you know what I mean? And I'm even getting that saying that people would say, it's like, we are meant to take up space. We are meant to, you know, occupy, to ultimately be our best, you know? I'm even thinking about that intention of, or the saying about where attention goes, energy flows. So imagine now being this brazen, this audacious, where, you know, you've got this big hair, you've got this crazy outfit, and you are ultimately calling the attention your way. People are paying attention to you, drawing energy towards you, like wondering, like, who's that? Who is he? Who's she? What's their story? What are they about? And, you know, this just gets me to thinking about, like, you know, I just saw this clip, actually. It's about like becoming your own pendulum, where you are aware of the energy in the seen as well as in the unseen, but then taking it to the point of like, you know, understanding that everything is trying to call it our energy, but then you being this vessel of energy, knowing and understanding your energy so well that you can now, get into your attractive state, knowing that your feminine can be a vessel for your masculine, where you're able to be both doing and being, like to exist in like multiple states or multiple dimensions at the same time. Yeah, I'm not gonna get too deep into that, but you know what, there'll be further visuals, right? But ultimately what I'm trying to get to with this is to say, you being the best you pursuing your passion, you following your craft, you living your purpose, your divine mission, right, is actually the best thing that you can do to attract the right energies, the right experiences, the right people, the right engagements. It's all energy. But you being in your chosen, your best dignified, you know, epitomized energy, if I can put it that way, is what's going to change your experience, change your reality. And I'm just thinking about this song that I just put out not so long ago, Arranges Reality, where I wrote the song and made the beat like maybe 2 years ago, and it released 2 years later. And I realized now that like within that 2 year period, I was becoming that person in a sense, So it's like, as much as I knew there were aspects of me that were already in that mode, it was internal, but then that internal started to reflect externally. And again, that's what's coming through over here, is to say, once you've chosen your reality, once you've reached that state that you want to be in, your flow state, your avatar state, you then, change inside of you. Your reality tests you to confirm your energy is truly what it is. You can pass those tests and those levels, right? And new levels, new devils, as they say. But then you eventually get to a point where you are so brazen, you're so comfortable in that embodiment, or in that experience or harnessing of that energy, that expression of that energy, that it becomes who you are. And now you can imagine, if this character is in this state, she could now decide to further master this state, or even learn other states and embody those. Again, I think we are put into certain situations where we choose how we want to show up, or how we either give or siphon or even block energies. Like, again, because it's all energetic work, right? Give me a second. This tea's busting. Yo, I'm sipping some green tea. How does that lyric go that I wrote? To tell the truth, I'm just be sipping tea. The truth. Oh my goodness, you know what? Oh my goodness. But anyways, guys, I love me some tea, And we're coming with the tea, we're coming with the truth out here. So what is true to you? What is it that you can step into fearlessly? And it's crazy that, like, the things that we should actually be doing make us feel fearful. Like, if you think about like, here are like my 5 or 10 passions that I'm like really interested in, like taking further, pursuing, and one of them scares you the most. And you know what? The one that scares you the most is probably the one that you should do first, because it's interesting how like fear has been something that we kind of feel like we should shy away from, whereas it's the thing that we should actually be running towards. And with my own understanding of that, it's this person getting into a state where they've actually approached that thing that they felt was perhaps daunting, or like unachievable, or bigger than what they could see for themselves. But the moment that you become greater than your desires, you no longer fear them, and like it says, you become fearless, where instead of the fear taking control of you, you take control of it, and you realize, again, energy work, this is an energy for you to work with. And fear can now be your indication of where your growth is, where your expansion is, and where you can actually take a moment to tune in and realize, like, okay, well, what game is this? What script, what story is this? How do I understand it? How can I rewrite it? How can I improve it? How can I master it? Um, yeah, man. Let's keep it T, guys. Let's keep it T. Like, what is the story on you? What is the truth on you? And can you remind yourself that you are a spirit having human experiences? And I even think about so many small little, like it says here, scandalous. I'm thinking about like scandals and like certain. I just saw one too. I'm thinking about like certain interactions and engagements that we find ourselves in. Okay, just a pause. Some relevant numbers: 914, 957, 5 as well, like, and 126. Yeah, that was like coming in quite strong. Um, where was I? Oh, yes, scandals. So many people will exaggerate some of these things that we experience on a day-to-day basis, and they would want you to play along with their narrative, their script, their story, because with me even thinking about all of this being energetic work, if somebody can pull your energy or pull on your energy or have you direct energy into them or into their agenda, then you are allowing their story, their narrative, their whatever machine to exist or to be, enhanced by the energy that it is putting, or that is being put into it from you, whatever system, structure, you get what I mean? It's like it could even be with work where everybody is expected to behave a certain way. With school, everybody is expected to behave a certain way. But the moment that you become the outlier, or you break the system, or you break the mold as to how you even answer certain questions, how you conduct yourself, how you do certain things that are not like other people, then you become like the glitch in the matrix. I'll give you an example with work where, like, as soon as like somebody becomes like a manager or a supervisor, the initial thought or the narrative that goes around is that people need to be led with fear. And it's like people who are led, the thinking now is that if you lead people with fear, they'll be scared to do wrong or scared to disobey and ultimately take on their responsibilities and execute them. But there are some managers, supervisors, or leaders who would feel that they can lead people through motivation and encouragement. So, whereas maybe a big part of the world would think that fear is a tool to use to, manipulate people or ultimately get a reaction or a response out of them, there are some people who believe in other methods which are not as abrasive, or that would not necessarily inspire such like low vibrational energies or frequencies, if you get what I'm saying, right? So, and that's what's coming through here, is that, like, what, you can recognize fear for what it is and choose to embrace what it teaches, but then not allow it to control you. So that's where the fearlessness is coming from. Wow, I think that came through beautifully. I don't know, goodness gracious, like, I'm feeling so dehydrated all of a sudden. I think maybe that's part of the reading as well. Throat chakra activations might be happening for you. If you do find yourself in a space where you're clearing your throat, definitely, consider maybe doing a throat chakra meditation. Also, staying hydrated, I mean, definitely a big thing. Yeah, we are such a high percentage of water in our vessels, in our beings, that we should just replenish. And I think that's what's also calling for us as the collective at this time, is to say, if we are aware that there are so many energies that have been coming at us, trying to siphon us, disturb us, interrupt us, distract us, how do we focus on ourselves and harnessing the energy for our craft, our actions, our plans, our creativity? And that comes with us also being aware of what we are doing to uplift our energies. How do we recharge, renew, restore, recover, all the re's, if you want to think of it that way. But yeah, man, this is just being out there. This is just about being unapologetic. Interestingly, you know what, I want to read what this card says in the book, but I do want to just show you guys what other cards that we have over here. Initially, I was drawn to the 29, so either 2 or 9 by itself, or maybe even the number 11. And I remember earlier on I saw 1 1, and I also just saw 1 triple 4. So I know I'm speaking to like some chosen ones right here, 144,000 vibes. And that's the beauty in all of this, is to say, like, you know what, if the right energies can come together from wherever they are all around the globe, then each of us fulfilling our purpose or doing our part can raise these energies, raise these frequencies, raise these vibrations in a positive aspect, in a positive manner, to have that impact in the areas that we've been placed in. Because if it is only going to take 144,000 people, and there's like millions of people in the world, that just speaks to how all of us have such a great impact to make in whichever areas of life that we're in. Some people in architecture, some people in carpentry, some on YouTube, like, you know what I mean, doing whatever it is. But whatever it is that you are being called to do, if everyone was in their purpose, wow, like what would the world be? Where would we be at? Anyways, first 2 cards that I have here, it's the Queen of Swords in reverse and the High Priestess in reverse. Interesting energy over there. And we've had the High Priestess popping up in the previous reading as well. And then the last 2 cards that we have here, it is the 8 of Swords upright, and we also have the Star upright. A lot of shiny stars in both of these cards over here, so very much interesting, yeah. And both of these were on the left were like in the reverse, and both of these were upright. So it's like 2 up, 2 down. I'm getting Virginia, getting like Chris Brown vibes. Like, he used to like say 2 up, 2 down quite a lot. That's what's actually coming to mind. Deuces, 2 2. So it's like, I don't know, maybe that's also like peace to the old life, peace to, the things that we've left behind, that we are detaching ourselves from, but also 2-2, meaning like that balance, moving in. Oh, what was that? Was that just my reflection? Oh, okay, it was my own shadow. Goodness gracious. So exactly, knowing that there's a light, knowing that there's a shadow, your yin, your yang, your masculine, your feminine, your spirit, your ego. How do we actually, again, 2 up, 2 down, as above, so below. There's like an alchemy, a balancing taking place over here as well. And I think it's also to say that, even in this brazen, audacious, or fearless state, what is it that you are doing to remain balanced while, acting, which is what I was saying, the being and the doing. Oh, wow. Look how it all comes together, right? Interestingly, now that I'm actually paying attention to this, it's like the first 2 cards, this one and this one, both are swords cards. And with these 2 here, both are major arcana cards. So already, first thing that's like coming to mind is that, this is very much like, in the mind, about, again, the stories, the narratives that we tell ourselves, what we choose to believe, as well as what we choose to act on. With me thinking about this first card here with the Queen of Swords, right? In the reverse, in this case, it's to say, we know that there are certain truths that have been presented to us about ourselves, about how we conduct ourselves, how we live our lives. Maybe you are lazy, maybe you are active, maybe the energies that are coming at us are actually there meant to teach us something, or maybe there are cycles that we need to break, and maybe karmic lessons that we need to learn and change our karma into dharma. Like, the worst thing that you can do is forsake that guidance, forsake that knowledge, that truth, that, like I was saying in the previous reading, once you know better, you do better. But now imagine being put, oh, wow. It's so interesting that I'm just thinking now in my mind how the Queen of Swords actually evolves into the High Priestess, right? Okay, Spirit, I see you, I see you, I see you, I see you, gang, I see you. It's like, imagine you have this opportunity to become the High Priestess, and it's like not going through this cycle or the phase of the Queen of Swords does not allow you to get into this High Priestess. It's interesting how I would view the Empress as all the queens and the Emperor as all the kings, but there's something about how in like this fine line of being this Queen of Swords, there's a path that you can take to become the high priestess, and then there's a path you can take to become the empress. It's very interesting in my mind right now, but I think this is a very interesting download, a way to look at it, right? But ultimately what I'm getting to is this: as much as you can, like, as the spiritual community likes to call it, like, the chakra hands and the woo-woo ninjas and things like that, you can stay in the clouds, you can stay all woo-woo, or kind of, in a sense, like delusional, like spiritually delulu, which to a certain extent is encouraged. Like, you need to be high on the positive energies, you need to be high on the life that you are creating, the high on the energy that, again, that got you feeling brazen, audacious, and fearless, because you are ultimately breaking the programming of this matrix that wants to control you. And the moment you take control of yourself, a lot of those people, which are, like, let's say, geniuses, right, they are regarded as people who are crazy. But then you are considered crazy until it's proven to be right, until people see that, oh, the thing that they laughed at you for at the beginning or at the onset actually turned out to be, like, the most life-changing thing later on, but it only was revealed or unraveled or discovered or uncovered over time. So there's, like, a willingness that you need to have to break out of, like, the frame of thinking. I'm even getting, as much as we're seeing the high priestess here, I'm thinking the high priest as well, with the Hierophant energy, where it's like whatever structures were created as to how we determine what is truth for us and what we decide and live as truth, right? We now acknowledge the power and the control that it has over us, and apply a level of discernment that allows us to understand that we are not going to let that illusion and confusion even get into us being our most intuitive, our most knowledgeable. Because the more you know, the more you realize that you don't know. It's like there's this constant pursuit, there's this constant learning. This Earth School will always have something to show, to teach. You know what I mean? There's always something to learn, right? But when you think about your life and your choices and your ability, your capability to be the best you, to be the version of you that 227, 226 as well, that is going to be, like, your best. I mean, ultimately, I feel like a lot of us avoid the things that we know we should be doing because it's that fear. The what if this happens? What if I fail? What are they gonna do? What are other people gonna say? But if we are true to that core of ourselves and we are not forsaking our intuition and understanding that, yes, the truth does come at a cost, but then it's not a deterrent, but rather an invitation, right? To explore it, to understand it, to not actually go outside of ourselves sometimes and actually come back in and be like, oh, okay, what is this? Like, well, what does it actually mean? With this high priestess, it's also Pisces energy. And, even with me saying Pisces, it's like, it's like having like hesitation to step into that aspect of you that is, like, kind of dreamy, because it's like, that committing to something would also kind of require a certain state of mind from you, where you might be viewed as delusional. But, like, if there is something you're gonna commit to, or something that you're gonna take a bet on, why not it be you? 2233 or 2333? Oh, goodness gracious! Why not it be you? Why not it be the thing that? Oh, confirmation, God! Thank you, Spirit. Why not it be the thing that you are motivated by, that you are driven by, that you know is your truth, that does keep you in your balanced state, where you have your masculine, your feminine, your above, your below, where you can step into alchemy, where you can be, I'm thinking magician right now, but rather this is more about your awareness. This is more about understanding that your mind is in between the spiritual as well as the physical. Your mind is like the vessel. Your mind is it's like it's the key. And did you not see a key in one of these cards? Actually, where was it? Yes, here we go. Here we go with this card here. It's like your mind is the key. I mean, just look at that. She's got the key right in her face area. You know what I mean? It's like even what we say, our words are powerful. What we see is powerful. And all of these things are senses that are triggering synapses in our brains. And ultimately, our brain is deciphering this information. So if we are now seeing that these are feminine energies and also appealing to our mind, our intuition, and I was thinking also with the swords, it's also spirit, spiritual gifts, spiritual connection, because it's a matter of the crown. And just look at this promotion from this crown to this crown here. I mean, just looking at it this way, right? I'm looking at this as like somebody who has even like started to, instead of get their heads out of the clouds, now they're actually using the sun and the moon as moments of like recharge, manifestation, realization, to understand that there's seasons and cycles for certain things to take place, where your crown or your throne could once be in a place where you were in a state of delusion, or where you needed to administer with your feminine guiding you, where you needed to be stern and I'm thinking compassionate right now, but it's like it's just coming through as that mothering situation where like you are not going to disobey your truth or disobey your spiritual insights, that intuition that's coming through to you. It's that thinking of like how when there's a powerful man, there's a powerful woman behind it or something like that. And also how as much as we live in a world that is very much masculine orientated, the feminine is actually like the real deal, if you want to call it that. Like the feminine is the one that is the key to like balancing the masculine, and it's been portrayed as like just a man's world, but it's actually a man and woman world. And bringing back the feminine, allowing Gaia, allowing these maternal energies to have room, to have a seat at the table, is allowing our gifts, our manifestations, our understanding, our decision making, right, to improve. So from this acknowledgement of this state to this state here is that knowing of fully embodying your feminine energy and balancing it with your masculine energy, and at the same time understanding that now you're just gonna attract, this is like divine feminine type energy coming through. But again, for me to have even asked spirit that thing of like, what is it that we need to focus on, what is it that we need to actually do, and for these cards to come out, it's coming through like, be aware of the things that are taking us away from embodying this truth, embracing our spiritual gifts, our intuition, our learning, our understanding, our balancing. These cards are deep, man. It's like there's something about even the fruits of our labor. I'm getting that as I look at like behind it looks like there's all of these fruits there as well. And again, the moon cycles, I was just thinking about that from the crown. But I mean, just look there at the bottom, there's a moon, understanding that everything has its time, everything has its season, It's like farmers with their almanac and things like that. Very interesting. But again, I think, it just goes with your willingness to take that path. Know that from a court card, you can become, from a court card, you could become like a major arcana card. Like, I actually see, as much as we see the court cards as like people and situations, it's like you could actually evolve. Okay, I'm getting all of this. Okay, Spirit's like saying like, whoa, what are you saying right now? Just think about it. But I honestly believe, right, that from wherever you are in the minor arcana to the major arcana, many small events can build up to big events, right? And I know that as well at the same time, that as much as this is like a major arcana card, it's a matter of saying that like some major energies are not so out there in your phrase, in your face, also front and center, but they're not in a phrase as well. They're not expressed in this outwardly manner where it's in your face and it's loud, you know. But some of them are chilled. They are more soft, if I can put it that way, right? And how I'm feeling this is like soft strength, or like calm intuition. It's like you don't have a point to prove that you know better than other people, you know. It's like once you know what you know, you apply that, you know. You have a sense of discernment, your wisdom is applied, and it's not to prove a point, it's just you being the best you. It's like, you know, even now with me talking about the throat chakra and saying, using that, you know, it's like, imagine saying things to impress people versus saying things because it's tea, you know, it's your truth. So your best option or best path to take would be living your truth, because you know it's what's true to you, and following your intuitive guidance and these intuitive hits is what led me to saying that a queen of swords can transform into the high priestess. It's very much possible, but there of course would be other steps in between. It's a progression, you know. This again could even be a situation where you are presented with situations where you are being shown where, you know, your gifts or your intuition could be of better guidance, you know, listening to, you know, these intuitive hits, downloads, even taking notes of your dreams, you know, things like that, that could actually lead you into that state. Whereas not doing so will actually take you out of being that high priestess, you know. Interestingly, I think it leads very nicely into our next card, which is the Eight of Swords. And this is freeing your mind. This is knowing that they are constructs, they are stories that we tell ourselves, that the world has imposed on us. You know, I like to think of even like time, how time is a cage, it's an illusion, it's a means of measurement that was imposed upon all of us so that we can have a frame of reference to certain things. But then it's also speaking to our mortality, how certain things go within time. Like there's a time for a birth, there's a time for a unaliving, there's a time for something. Like for example, I'm even thinking of like best before dates or expiry dates, right? And those times are just means of keeping control, because again, even like using a best before or expiry date, it's a matter of saying that some products or some companies have those dates there just as a means of safety. But it doesn't mean, and to, when I say safety, as in to protect their company, but it doesn't mean that the product itself is no longer viable or useful, you know. It's just to protect themselves, to say it is most ideal or most suitable within that given period because its level of quality and its standards that they would like it to be received or enjoyed within. So if you think of the quality of your life and the standard that you want to set for your life, right? When do you decide to break out of the control that has been placed over you, or the limitations that have been placed over you, so that you can now step into this star, into this light? Because that's what's here for you, that's what's available to you. If you actually look at what's happening here, it's like, yes, granted, there is like this blindfold, right, which is this control that's been placed over us, but then once that control is removed, you are still going within, because the eyes are still closed. And it doesn't mean that you're looking outside of you for these answers. You are looking still within yourself, and that star now drops into the head, it drops into the crown, which is why we have these sword cards over here, right? It's like that stardom is always in your mind. Those synapses that are firing are in your mind, and you realize that you embodying the star that you are impacts the other stars, because it's like They're just waiting for you to reach into your star and look at the other stars. Your star is shining bright, and all the other stars are not even as bright right now. But the moment you step into your star, look at what happens to all the others. Now they have a place to shine because you've occupied your space. You've taken what is truly yours. You've stepped into your purpose, and you've healed from all of these swords, which is what I was saying. Because some of these stories, some of these entrapments, baits, or slave type mentalities, if you want to call it that, things that we just fall victim to, victimhood, man, just self-sabotaging, like, goodness gracious, you get me, like all the things that we do that go against ourselves, gaslighting. Yeah, somebody dropped, I don't know, a comment or something that they know, but like, I think you get what I'm trying to say. Any action that goes against your best positive action. Sometimes it could even be like something that's very tough, like maybe you have anxiety, you have like ADHD, or something like that. Maybe someone is like in a depressive state of mood or mind, but I'm even thinking depressed, but then now you can go into deep rest and relax, because just look at this. It's like, we were talking about that energy and directing it to yourself. It's like, look at even the hands over her chest there. It's like, what, this energy that has been siphoned or being pulled by other people, by other energies that were trying to get your attention to pour into them, the moment you start to pour it into yourself and to cultivate it within yourself, you now have set your own rules, have set your own story, have gone on your own trajectory or your own path to be the best light that you can be. And this is accepting your lessons and learning from them, overcoming them and being better at them, and being an example so that even other stars can learn to shine because you have taken that opportunity to shine yourself. Oh, goodness gracious. You are definitely like on a platform. I'm thinking about where this character is standing over here on this circle with the stairs, and it's like, just looking at how close she is to the star, I think it's within arm's reach. You are closer than you've ever been to reaching what you need to reach. There I was talking about the moon as well. The moon and the stars. I was just talking about how, the high priestess has this balance with the sun and the moon, and the sun is a star. So it's like, can you finally like recognize that what you truly seek is within your auric field? It's just a matter of calling back your power and balancing what is within, what is without. There's just a call to go on this journey within and remain studious, remain courageous. I'm even seeing the hermit right now in my mind's eye, where he's holding this lantern, and it speaks to this journey, this pilgrimage, but also, with the white hair, the learning, the wisdom that comes with that, but then also the direction and the path, because you can ultimately become the way shower as a result, because of the example, the teaching, being like the sage, that knows, that teaches, and I think there's a lot to heal from here. There's a lot to overcome. There's a lot to discover. But it comes with, again, freeing the mind. I'm thinking about that song by Thames, Free Mind, right now. And again, with us realizing that the mind is a conduit, the mind is a vessel, the mind is the bridge. Oh, goodness, throat. That's why people would want to control our minds. It's because it's our manifestation tool. The moment we can take control of our minds all over again is the moment that we take control of our reality, our manifestations, our creations, and our lives ultimately, We get to rewrite the script, rewrite the narrative, love our inner child from this more knowledgeable version, love our creations, our family, ourselves, and even accept ourselves, our family, and our creations from our current level of understanding, while honoring the previous level of understanding for what it was, knowing that the divine will meet us at our level of understanding and comprehension, which is why we are constantly evolving, going into new levels, states, dimension. Why not give grace? Why not give kindness to ourselves? Which is what was actually happening. It's almost like the warning is this, and this is the directive, and this is the action. I mean, the star is such a positive, beautiful card. I would say second to the sun in terms of happiness, in terms of this great expanse, this great manifestation, this great embodiment of this uplifting and nourishing energy. 41 1. Oh, look at that. I was thinking 144, but the other way around. But that was the 411 actually. Like, yo, I'm spilling the tea, gang. I'm spilling the tea right here. So 424. Yeah, I think that's just very powerful, guys. You know what? We have the ability to free ourselves, and it comes with seeing ourselves. So even though they thought they could control us by placing a veil or these filters over us, it only unlocked a version of ourselves that didn't even look outside for the answer. We went back inside and realized that, like, oh damn, I've had the answers all along. How crazy is that? How beautiful is that? And the moment that she stepped in, it's like, just look at how this character looks here and how this character looks here. If this is the same person, this is like a true transformation. I mean, from short hair to long hair, from kind of dressing in one way, realizing that everything you need is within you, and you're not even being concerned about the outward appearance. Short hair to long hair, it's just giving like a passage of time. Of course, these are just examples of saying that, like, what if what we truly want is not what's on this external, and it's actually what's internal that's going to reflect on the external. Because for so long we were focused on how things seemed, what was seen, and the moment we focus on what is unseen is when we truly unlock what we need to unlock. Like, it's crazy to me. It's crazy to me. Anyways, let's read what this card says here. Oshun the Scandalous. Number 29. Alright, let's see. Let's rock. Interesting. I opened it on the page that's so this card deck is divided into like different chakras, and I opened it on the page that speaks to the heart chakra, and it says the initiation of rivers. Interestingly, when I picked up this card, I remembered that Oshun is very much associated to water energy. So granted, there's a lot happening here within the mind, but I think being close to a body of water will be very helpful as well. You could also be speaking to like the cleansing that you might need to do, taking care of yourself, like massages, again, cleansing, spiritual baths, things of that nature, fasting, all of that. But here it says the initiation of rivers invites exploration of our capacity for love, compassion, and deep connection, encouraging emotional balance, healing and nurturing. This suit aligns with the heart chakra. Yeah. 28 and 29. Interestingly, this card, Oshun the Scandalous, is not even about the heart chakra. Do you want to guess what it's about? It's about the throat. And was I not just saying that there was something to do with the throat chakra earlier on? I mean, there I was feeling all thirsty. There I was even like my voice cracking and stuff. And I mean, just look at how her mouth is all open there. She's like ready to scream and shout and let it all out. Like, wow. Like, interesting. And before I told myself that I was going to read this card. Something was like, watch how this whole reading just brings us back to what this card is about. And oh, lo and behold, just watch this. But mind you, I'm still familiarizing myself with this deck, so let's go on this journey together. Anyways, here it is. It says the initiation of laughter, which is the next five of cards, the next set of five cards, which are about the throat chakra, investigates communication, expression, and truth. And we're not just saying that, urging you to voice your innermost thoughts and feelings and harness the power of authentic self expression. This suit aligns with the throat chakra. Okay, I'm gonna read you guys this story. Anyways, let's get into story time on time. It says here, oh goodness. Oshun's gift for song and melody is a spiritual tool of creation and change. Her melodious laughter serves as a divine expression of joy, power, and positive energy. Just as Oshun uses her voice, whether through song, laughter, or speech, to create and transform, the throat chakra serves as our personal channel for verbal expression and the manifestation of our highest truth. The throat chakra is the center of communication, self-expression, and truth-speaking. In many stories, Oshun goes to battle armed only with her calabash and a song, balancing this energy allows us to wield the power of our own voices and influence and transform our world. Because we influenced and transformed our world, right? From the star above to the star within and influencing others. Wow. Anyways, now just onto this card, right? The first quote here, it says, I embrace every part of who I am. And it says, initiation of laughter. Let them talk, baby. In many timelines and cultures, it is scandalous for the divine feminine to be bold, brazen, and fearless. You are being called to lean into this energy. This is the energy of well-behaved women seldom make history. Oshun the Scandalous comes bearing a message of empowerment and fearless action. She invites you to step boldly into your personal power, unapologetically embracing your desires, dreams, and ambitions. This is not a time for hesitation or self-doubt. It's a time for audacious moves and unflinching self-assurance. Wow. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. I can already see the connections to what you're speaking about. And it says here, what to do now. Oshun the Scandalous is here to remind you to take up space. What? Did we not just say that? Whether you're contemplating a major life change, seeking to express yourself more fully, or itching to step out of your comfort zone, her energy imbues you with the courage to act. Step up, gorgeous. Yes, my pretty gentlemen, my pretty ladies, what do you do? Caution. Embracing a scandalous life can be liberating, but it's crucial to maintain balance. Avoid reckless behavior or harm to yourself and others. Make mindful choices that align with your values and well-being. Balancing your pursuit of scandalous living is essential. And then it tells us more about her story. It says, most Yoruba traditions say that there are about 401 Orishas. Among the most venerated and influential Orishas are the 7 African powers, which consist of Obatala, Shango, Oshun, Yamaya, Ogun, Eleguya, and Oya, with Orunmila and Ochosi sometimes included. So, wow, that's interesting, just letting us know about the other energy, spirits, deities that are, included in this grouping here. Wow, that's powerful, man. Then it leaves us with the healing ritual. Craft a brazen life collage using images, quotes, and symbols that ignite boldness. Arrange them creatively on a board of paper, forming a visual. I'm like, goodness, like my words are just forming a visual inspiration. Display this collage on a wall, your desk, or the fridge for a daily reminder to lead a courageous life and welcome opportunities beyond your comfort zone. Wow. I think that's powerful, man. I think that's so powerful, woman. Wow, wow, wow. Yeah, just be seen, gang. Honestly, just be seen. Yo, I'm just looking at her right now. She looks so strong as well. Like, just look at her, like her shoulders, gang. Looks like she's like been lifting or pumping weights. Like, yo, this woman is, yo, she's about it. Like, she could knock Emma Effa out. Like, this is that fearlessness. Like, yo, I'm here to compete. I'm even seeing her, like standing in that superhero stance. Like, there's even something about the superhero stance and how, like, people use that as like means of like building up energy. It's like affirmations type of a thing. Like, I'm a superhero. I'm strong. I'm here to save the day for me. I'm like, you get what I mean? Like, it's very much like I'm him, I'm her energy, and yeah, man, I love it. I love it so much. And the spirit wants us to step into this. I mean, I think it's about time that we kick ass and we take names. You know what I mean? So yeah, let it be beautiful. A few cards, but the reading and the message is so like profound, I believe. And thank you for joining me for this time, this place, this space, this journey. And yeah, I look forward to reading for you again. Drop me some, some whatever, some feedback. If you made it this far, maybe drop a rose, drop a rose in the comments, let us create our desire, let us create our world. Or, I don't know, maybe just share your story, share what it is that you feel you need to do to take up space. And yeah, for the first maybe couple of people that comment, if you like, I don't know, I'm even thinking like maybe to do something interactive, hit me up, drop me an email or something, maybe the first couple of people we might just like do something pretty cool, maybe like the first 100 likes or something. Let me see, like the video, screenshot that you like the video, send me an email showing me that you like the video, and then like, I don't know, maybe I'll give you like a reading or something, like a one card reading, or I don't know, something like that, just like keep this energy going. But yeah, I don't know, let's just do something interactive, that's like an idea that I'm proposing right now. And if you feel up for it, go for it. I mean, I don't know how long this video is gonna take to get to 100 likes, but if you are in that first 100 people, you know what? Let me be of service to you, and I believe it will happen at the right time, as it should, when it should. And yeah, let's leave it right here. Peace and love, gang. Yay! 5626 I just saw there. And if that's relevant to you, then yeah, so be it. Just yeah. Oh, hey, let's close this with an angel number real quick. Thank you, Spirit. Oh, we got 400. And it says, God and the angels are surrounding you with love, bliss, and protection. I'll read the next one, 401. This is a message from God and the angels reminding you to stay positive and only focus on your desires and not your fears. On the left-hand side, I've got 3925, and it says, your inner guidance is accurately guiding you to make important life changes that will put you on the path of your divine life mission. Wow. Feeling High Priestess quite a lot there. And then one more, 396. Give any cares or concerns about the meaning of your life to the Ascended Masters, who hear and answer your prayers. One more, 397. You're on the right path towards your divine life purpose. Oh, goodness gracious. Oh, look at this one, 399. Your divine life purpose is needed right now, and the Ascended Masters urge you to get to work on your mission without the delay. Right? Ask the Ascended Masters for any information, courage, or support you may need for your purpose, so that you can be scandalous. so scandalous. Can't handle this. Oh, who's this? Cisco. Oh, okay, one more. 398. You're being provided for in all ways as long as you focus your time and energy on your divine mission in life. Wow. Wow. All right, let's leave it there. Peace and love, gang. Peace. Deuce. 2 up, 2 down.